welcome back to another episode of Simply Medicare. I'm your host, Debbie Stroup, and super excited to talk about some things that happen when you are bamboozled by solicitors. So, have you ever had this happen to you where you're over 65 or maybe you're turning 65 and you're a little bit curious about what's going on, and then you're getting bombarded by phone calls? You know, this plan's the best plan, this plan's the best plan, this plan's the best plan. And have you been confused? Have you not known what to do? Or maybe have you picked a plan because they promised you all that stuff and then it didn't really come true? Then this is the episode that you have been waiting for. We are going to talk to somebody who was overwhelmed by all the solicitors calling you and saying, my plan's the best, my plan's the best. And let me tell you all the different things that we have to offer. And what they're trying to do is wear you down so that you finally just say, fine, I'll take that plan. Or I think what can happen too is they play on your fears, like, hey, wouldn't you want this? Wouldn't you want this? And it takes you and distracts you from what the real meaning of Medicare is, which is getting your doctors and prescriptions on plan. So I'm super excited to welcome our new guest. And I think you have your grandson with you too. So over excited about this. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us see your grandchild sitting there on your lap, and then let's talk about what happened to you.
Oh, hello, everybody. My name is Tenaya King, and this is Isaiah King. Hi. And we're here this morning. We're glad to join you guys, and hopefully what I have to say will help someone else so they're not stuck or trapped in the same situation that I had to go through. Unfortunately, I was in this situation during open enrollment, as a lot of people know, where you get the phone calls and they're calling and they're trying to convince you to change your plan, and they make it seem so easy. Go through everything, and it sounds so great, just to end up finding out that in actuality, the plan that I picked wasn't the right plan for me. I wasn't getting the correct care that I needed. And a lot of my prescriptions were being denied, and appointments not being approved, and then the bills just start coming.
So did they tell you, how did they convince you that the plan that they were selling you was going to be a great fit for you? I mean, how did they distract you from that?
Well, what they did was, while we were in the conversation, the main thing that took my focus off of what I really needed was the help that they offered to provide. I had just recently had my hip replaced, so the need for transportation was great. My kids are all grown and, as you can see, starting families of their own. So their availability as far as being able to get me back and forth to appointments wasn't the same as how it was, when they were finishing high school and first starting college, where they had the free time to drive me around. So when they offered those things, which I hadn't had before, my previous health insurance didn't offer, the transportation benefit, didn't offer the benefits of having, meals delivered to my house and things like that. So when I started focusing on that and thinking about how it would be beneficial to my family members as well as myself, that's where I kind of lost focus in what it is that I needed. We went through all the medications as they do in doctors. And of course it was, oh yes, they're in network. Everything was in network. Magically, everything was in network. And that's where I got derailed just with everything. And it is important. It is important to have those benefits offered to you. I think it's great that they started offering those. They shouldn't take them away, but it shouldn't be the main focus when getting someone to choose a health insurance plan. It should stay and should be stuck on actually what it is the person needs. And
No, go ahead.
And not so much on the extra. Like I said, even though it is needed, and I know there's many of seniors out there who have much more need than what I do. Some people don't even have family members that they can call on for those things. So yes, great, offer it. Everyone should. But again, the healthcare is so much more important, and we struggle so much with that already. And just being able to get things approved that we need already, that having that added extra and then being hit with bills, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, I've done a lot of thinking about this, and I think, and I'm curious to hear what you think too, that these solicitors play on our fears instead of what Medicare is set up to do. And Medicare is set up to help you with your doctors and your prescriptions. And so what some of the solicitors have done is they've turned that into, well, wouldn't you love to have free groceries? Well, yeah, guess what? I want free groceries. You want free groceries. You want free groceries. Everybody wants free groceries. But that's not the reason why Medicare was set up. All right. And
Exactly.
the reason why Medicare was set up was to help with your prescriptions. So they're going to play on your fears about, well, yeah, maybe you're struggling a little bit. So how about this free grocery card? Or maybe you need transportation and now you're a little bit fearful about hey, guess what? We can offer you free transportation. And so
Yeah.
I think people lose sight of what Medicare was really set up to do. Without throwing daggers, do you think that is what happened to you a little bit? Is that they kind of,
That is exactly what
oh,
happened to me.
and then
And the time that they caught me at a moment where my feelings were all over the place already, because I'm in fear of what's to come as far as the surgeries. So when you're talking like that, yeah, you're playing on a lot of different emotions, my financial, the family, help, and just everything, every aspect of your life. They're playing on all of those things, because you're offering me now food assistance, you're offering me assistance with the pharmaceutical things, as far as like the shower seats and the handrails that go in the shower, and the reachers, and the wheelchairs and things like that can cost a lot. And over time you're buying all of these products that you need. So for someone to come in and say, hey, we're going to give you a $200 Visa card that's going to reload every quarter, you're like, oh, wait a minute, now I don't have to buy supplies from the pharmacy anymore. And now you're covering my transportation. Now you're covering my groceries. It's like, oh, of course I want to choose this health plan. So yeah, it for sure absolutely plays on your emotions and your fears. And just aging and having to go to the doctors on a regular basis is enough.
exactly. And so, Medicare, was set up for this, not for transportation, not for free groceries. I get it. That we all want that. And
Hmm.
honestly, and I'm sure you can attest to this, they all offer something. They all offer something, all right? But let's get back to the basics of finding a plan where your doctors and your prescriptions. So, you picked a plan. You admit your emotions were high, you were at a vulnerable time. They took advantage of that, and there's really no repercussions on their end. They're like, well, we did everything right, whether they did or didn't. They'll just pay the fine and move on. But how did it affect you when you picked the wrong plan?
For me, it was very upsetting. One, because not only am my health is in a bad state, but my finances not being able to work is also a hardship, and it's a new change for me.
Mhm.
So to start receiving hospital bills, to start having my medication denied, medication that I actually needed, and now I'm paying out of pocket because the insurance is saying it's not covering it, but I still need it. So it put me in a hardship as financially, because this is not something that I, prepared for or even planned for, especially when I'm under the understanding that my Medicare is going to cover all these things. So now I'm back calling these agencies only to find out that, oh, wait, we're not Medicare. We're just a solicitor selling. And so then now the frustration has mounted even more, because I'm thinking I'm talking to Medicare this whole time when that's not even who I'm talking to.
Nope.
So now it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Who do I call? How do I get help? How do I find the insurance that is actually fit for me. So now it's like, okay, well, you know what? Take away all the bells and whistles because I could care less about all of that. I need my health care. I need my medication.
That's right. You know what? How can you live your life if you're not healthy? You know,
Exactly.
the groceries, I
Exactly.
mean, I get it. I get all of that, and I'm not trying to diminish that, but the most important thing is your health. And let's get you on that. So I think you are spot on with this. You know, you're talking to somebody that you think might be Medicare, and
Hmm.
it's really not. And those solicitors are not going to try and tell you otherwise. They're not saying, "Hi, I'm Medicare," but the words are leading you to
Exactly.
believe that this is legitimate. So, in your opinion, how do you go about breaking away from that? Because that's all you've known is that
Mhm.
solicitor. So you cited an example, you wanted to call them back. So I always caution people, if you sign up with a solicitor, do you think they're going to be there to help you when you get a bill from the hospital? No. Are they
No.
going to be there to help you find a new doctor? No. Are they going to be there to help you when the transportation says that they're going to pick you up and they don't? No. So how did you find somebody that you ended up trusting?
I ended actually, you guys found me. And I really, it was a blessing because Medicare actually called me. And when you guys called me, it was okay. Now I'm talking to the right people.
Yeah.
And it was literally, it was a breath of fresh air because I was lost. I didn't know who to call, the 800, and all of the numbers that they give you every time you call. Of course, you get someone different.
Yep.
And
Yep.
oh, we'll connect you with that agent and we'll connect you, and you just go in circles. So for me, luckily, I was blessed to have Medicare reach out to me.
Mhm.
But for
Right.
those who aren't in that position, my suggestion would be to call the number on the back of the insurance card. Actually, reach out to Medicare. Call the 800 number for Medicare so you know for a fact that is exactly who you're speaking with. So that you know for sure to get away from all of the bonuses and just solely focus on insurance.
Mhm.
And then it is hard to do because you do get a lot of those calls. But my thing is just be diligent about asking questions, making sure that you're actually talking to a Medicare representative as opposed to a solicitor who's just trying to sell things, who really has no access to what they're saying they have access to.
That's right. They are just in it for the quick buck. They make their commission and then they're gone, and you'll
Mhm.
never hear from them again. And, maybe something that folks that maybe don't live in this area that are listening other places or around the country, do your due diligence. All right. Look up local Medicare specialists and do your due diligence. Call on the references, see if they're legitimate. um, Call them personally and ask them, are you going to be here with me if I get a bill? Are you going to be here with me to help me find a dentist? And really, that's important that you have that relationship with them, because in my opinion, folks that are on Medicare have earned the right to have peace and tranquility in their life, and importantly in their Medicare experience. And so when I hear stories like this, it's very troubling, because you worked hard to be where you are. You don't need that extra garbage in your life. And the last thing you need is to make sure a doctor and a prescription, that they didn't do their work and they're not in network for you.
Hmm.
So,
Yes, I agree with that totally because it is so hard, and it takes a toll on you emotionally to have this added stress
mhm.
with the insurance and the procedures. I know it was for me. I couldn't imagine being where I'm homebound and having to worry with things such as this. And
Right.
it actually, and it puts a bad taste in your mouth, and it's sad because it makes you not it makes you not feel comfortable with what Medicare promises to do for you.
Right.
because you get distracted and you think that all of these things are true and what they're selling you. So then it makes you feel bad and makes you feel some type of way towards Medicare. And then you start to feel, okay, can I trust Medicare to do what it is that they need to be doing? When in actuality, it's not Medicare at all.
Nope. Nope. It's somebody either disguising or promising you, and then they're not delivering on that.
Right.
So, that is very troubling. And we work really hard, and people that are legitimately out there to help seniors are working really hard to make sure that we can still be there. And, Medicare is trying to crack down on these solicitors, but what's actually happening is it can kind of filter down to everybody else. You get one bad apple and it spoils everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important that people work with folks that are local to them. They can call them anytime, and try and find somebody that, like you did, that really cares. And I think that that's important. I'm sorry that you had that experience with solicitors, but I bet you're not alone.
No, I'm pretty sure that I'm not. It's really sad to say because I've actually fallen into their trap more than once. So
Hmm.
and the first time it happened, I was just for sure like, okay, make sure that you don't make that mistake again. Make sure that it's Medicare. And I went through all of that just to have it happen to me again. Because when they called and I'm asking, okay, is this Medicare? Oh yeah, and they talk so
Oh yeah.
fast
Hmm.
and they spill so much at you all at one time that again, just like the first situation, the bills start coming and I'm back in and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm in the wrong plan. This is not right. And Medicare is wrong. I even went and applied for Medicaid, like doing all of these extra extremes because I'm like, I have to get this coverage. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? And then you're not, for certain as to how long the open enrollment is. So you start to believe you were in that belief that now I can't change plans.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then when you call back that hotline thinking it's Medicare, then they're, oh no, you're here. Let's try to make it right for you. And then the fast talking begins again, and then you're stuck.
Right. Right.
Right, not knowing. So it is very important to, like you said, to do your due diligence. And it might take a little extra added effort for that day, but in the long run, it's so much more beneficial. It's sad to say that we have to go through all of that when it comes to healthcare coverage, and that seniors are and people that are disabled are in this situation because it shouldn't be that. Like you said, it shouldn't be that. You're at a stage in your life where you should be cared for and looked after because like you said, you've earned it. You've raised your family,
Right.
you've worked hard, and now you're in a position to where you can't do those things anymore, and you expect for the things that you've put money into and your social security and all of that will come back and help you in a way that you need to be helped without all of the added stress. But unfortunately, there's those companies out there who would rather prey on your weakness than to help you the way that they say that they are going to. And that is really, really sad.
I agree with you 100%, and it's an uphill battle. But I think some of the takeaway that we can take from here is never, 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 never talk to a solicitor who calls you on the phone. Never. Hang up, right? Wouldn't you think?
Right. I
Okay,
agree with
hang
that.
up, hang up. And never, 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 never call on a commercial that you see on TV.
Oh, 100% agree.
Because really it's 1-800 who cares. Okay,
Exactly.
they
Exactly.
don't care. And never, 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 never answer any solicitation that is sitting on your kitchen table unless it is legitimate from Social Security Administration. They are not going to send you emails to call. They're not going to call you. It needs to be an official document from Social Security. So my takeaway is never, ever, ever talk to anybody on the phone, on your kitchen table, or from a television commercial, because they are not there for your best interest. Would you agree?
I agree 100%.
Yay.
100%.
Yay. I think so too. So, any final parting words of wisdom on your end?
I just agree with you 100%. For all of those out there who are listening, do not answer those calls, throw those letters away in the mail and call Social Security. 100%. Your life will be so much better to do so. And like you said, you can still get those benefits, but knowing that you are in the right plan is more important than anything else. Make sure that you're covered, and that's my take on that.
Yeah, and I try and boil it down to something a little more like day to day, like a car. When you're buying a car. Well, this car, can navigate you to your grandkids' house, and this car has heated seats, and this car has, tinted windshield and all that. But what they didn't tell you is that it gets 0 miles to the gallon, and
Right.
it's going to cost you a fortune, or the wheels fall off pretty easily.
Right.
So we can't get distracted from what the real thing is, which is the basic
Exactly.
Medicare of your prescriptions and medications. Tanaya, thank you so much. You have been a breath of fresh air, and I know that your words of wisdom are going to touch a lot of people, and they're going to hear this and they're going to think, you know what, that's happened to me. So you've really shared a lot of great ideas with us, and we really, really thank you for your time and your energy, and having your grandson with you as well. So
Oh, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. I really do hope I can help someone.
you will definitely help someone. So thank you. And that's another episode of Simply Medicare. I'm your host, Debbie Stroup, your Michigan Medicare Specialist.
If you've enjoyed this edition of Simply Medicare podcast and you don't want to miss any future episodes, please make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Please also leave comments and offer feedback so we can make this podcast the best it can be for you. If you need assistance with your Medicare sign-up, or you just have general Medicare questions, make sure to reach out to me at 248-227-0347. You can also reach me online at MichiganMedicareSpecialist.com, or through my email at Debbie@MichiganMedicareSpecialist.com. I really look forward to working with you soon.